Now, sometimes these laws, that is Ohm's law, and also the formula we have derived for series and parallel combinations of resistors, are not sufficient to analyze a network. Though current and voltages in a simple circuit can be found or can be derived by using Ohm's law and the formula we have derived for the series and parallel combination of resistances. But electric circuits generally consist of a number of resistors and cells interconnected, sometimes in a complicated way. And for that case, these laws are not sufficient to get the current and voltages through current through different resistances and voltage across different resistances or cells. So, in that case, two rules called Kirchhoff's rule or Kirchhoff's law are very useful for analysis of electric circuits, that is called network analysis. One that is called the first law of Kirchhoff or Kirchhoff's first law. We are going to discuss Kirchhoff's law. First law is called Kirchhoff's first law, or this is called junction rule, or it may be also called KCL, that means Kirchhoff's current law. This is also called Kirchhoff's current law. KCL means Kirchhoff's current law. First law, this is called junction rule, and this rule states that at any junction, the sum of the currents entering the junction is equal to the sum of the currents leaving the junction. Or you can say the algebraic sum of all the currents meeting a junction point in an electric circuit is 0. That means, let us say this is a junction point of an closed electric circuit. Let us say these are different branches which meet at the point O. Let us say I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 and I6. These are the currents through the different branches which meets at the point this. Now see here, at this point, current I1 is entering the junction, current I4 also entering the junction, and current I5 is also entering the junction. We have told the sum of the currents entering the junction, that means I1 plus I4 plus I5. Current I2 is leaving the junction, current I3 is leaving the junction, and current I6 is also leaving the junction. Therefore, sum of the currents leaving the junction will be equal to I2 plus I3 plus I6. I2 plus I3 plus I6. This must be equal. Sum of the currents entering a junction point will be equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. Or we may say I1 plus I4 plus I5 minus I2 minus I3 minus I6 is equal to 0. That means summation over I equals to 0. That means summation over I equals to 0. Now, in this case, algebraic sum of the currents meeting a junction point in a closed electric circuit is 0. Now, you have to take one sign. You have to take one sign to the currents which are entering the junction and opposite sign to the currents which are leaving the junction. Now here we have taken the currents which are entering the junction as positive. Then current those leaving the junction must be negative sign or must have negative sign. And where does it come from? This law comes from the law of conservation of charge. See here, if total current entering the junction is not equal to total current leaving the junction, then what happens? Current means what? Current means charge flowing in 1 second. Now see here, what we have said? The total current entering the junction is not equal to the total current leaving the junction. That means in 1 second, that means in unit time, charges entering the junction point is not equal to the charges leaving the junction in unit time. That means there must be an accumulation of charge or there must be a distraction of charge, whatever you can say, right? But it is not possible. For steady current, the charges entering the junction must be equal to charges leaving the junction in unit time. Therefore, the total current entering a junction must be equal to the total current leaving the junction. That means this law comes from the law of conservation of charges. Now, proceed to the Kirchhoff's second law, which is also called the loop rule. This is called loop rule, and also it is called KVL. That means Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's second law states that the algebraic sum of changes in potential around any closed loop involving resistors and cells in the loop must be 0. That means summation over delta V equals to 0. What we have said? The algebraic sum of changes in potential around any closed loop involving resistors and cells in the loop is 0. Or we can say summation over IR will be equal to summation over E. That means you get summation over E minus summation over IR is equal to 0. Or you can say that the sum of the product of resistance and current through it will be equal to sum of the EMFs in a closed loop. In a closed loop, or if we go round a closed loop, that means starting from any point and come back to the same point, then initial and final point is same, therefore potential difference is 0. That means there is no potential change. In a closed loop, we do come back to the starting point, right? Thus, cell change will be 0, and that is the rule. And this rule comes from the conservation of energy. See here, let us see. It may be another branches also. We have taken a closed loop of a complete network. Let us say this cell has EMF E1, this cell has EMF E2, and this cell has EMF E3. Resistance of this resistance is R1, this is R2, this is R3, this is R4, and this is R5. Let us say the current through this branch is I1, through this branch is I2, through this branch is I3, or we can say this branch is I4, and also through this branch is I5. We have taken a closed loop. This is a closed loop of a complicated network. That means this is not the whole network. There may be more components or more circuits surrounding this. Now we have taken, or in this closed loop there is 3 cells, E1, E2, E3, and there are 5 resistances, and also each resistance is associated with a currents, and those currents are given here. Now what we have written here, IR equals to summation over E. Now for this case, let us take that this is positive. We take this is positive. That means if current in clockwise direction or current through this direction, then that current assumed to be positive. But if current flows in opposite direction, that will be taken as negative. This is for the current, and also for the cells. If any cell provides current in this direction, then EMF of that cell will be taken as positive. But if an EMF produces current in opposite direction or provides current in the circuit in opposite direction, then that will be taken as negative, or EMF of that cell taken as negative. Now see here, this current will be positive, this current also positive, but this current will be taken as negative. This current taken as negative, this current taken as positive, because all these are this and this are in clockwise direction, but these are in anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, I1 into R1 plus I2 into R2 plus I3 into R3 minus I4 into R4 minus I5 into R5, because these two currents is taken as negative, right? This should be equal to, this is summation over IR, this should be equal to, now which EMF is taken to be positive and which EMF is taken to be negative? The cell which provides current in the clockwise direction, that is in this direction, the EMF is taken as positive, but the EMF will be taken as negative if the cell provides current in the opposite direction. See here, this is positive side, therefore the current from this cell will be in this direction, which is positive, therefore we write this as positive. But this cell, from this cell, current will be in this direction, or Positive terminal, since positive terminal is this, therefore current will leaving or current will be flowing through this side. Therefore, this will be taken as negative. Similarly, this is the same as the current or same as the convention we have taken the sign of the convention for the current we have taken is the same. Therefore, this will be plus. You may take anticlockwise as positive, but for that case also you get this relation, same relation. This is the voltage supply. That means this is the energy, this E1 minus E2 plus E3. This is the energy supplied by the source, total energy supplied by the source, and this is the energy dissipated in the different cells, different resistances. Therefore, we can say the energy supplied by the source is equal to energy dissipated in the circuit, which comes from the conservation of energy. That's why we have said that Kirchhoff's second law, which is called loop rule, comes from the conservation of energy.